Hey man, good evening.
Recording in progress.
You can hear me, right? Okay. Okay, can you guys hear me? Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it was a bit echoey. Let me just share this to YouTube, then we just start up.
Oh, sure.
Okay, good evening, guys. Godspower, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear you?
Oh, cool. Okay, good evening, guys. Welcome to our first community call. And we'll be talking about OnlyDust. You probably might have come across it if you are active in the Starknet ecosystem. And OnlyDust is a platform where you can get to contribute to open source projects on Starknet ecosystem. And today we'll have Godspower show us how you can actually get to do this, how we can do this, and also make an impact in the Starknet ecosystem. It's good to have you here, Godspower.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, you can, okay, yeah, you can share your screen or and how you want to like get started with it.
Since we're waiting for others, let's just wait for like let's say 3 minutes. Let others join.
Okay, that's good.
Because yeah, so we can carry them along.
So I mean, did you see the updates from the peak that Starknet has now, the based on TPS? Did you come across that?
I think 126, right? Is it that one?
Yeah. 1 to 6. I mean,
Nice.
even considering like a few months ago, I had one of my friends call Starknet is Lunet, so I feel they should like go and get a rebrand. Okay, we have more people joining the call, so we just kick off in the next 2 minutes. Hey, Julius, good to have you here. Okay. So we could just start by 7:07. What do you think?
Let's just get started. Welcome again, everyone. It's good to have you here. Like Paul said, the goal of this call is to just walk you through how you can use OnlyDust and show you some steps on how to contribute to projects in the Starknet ecosystem. And before I share my screen, let me just give a very brief summary of what OnlyDust does. So OnlyDust is a bridge between projects that want to pay you to contribute to open source and yourself who wants to contribute to open source. So it's like an intermediary where all you need to do is to register on the platform and go ahead and contribute, and automatically you get paid. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Nice. Automatically you get paid. Yeah, so this is a platform, app.onlydust.xyz. So here are like 65 projects from different ecosystems. But since we're talking about Starknet, I'll just show you the Starknet project you can contribute to. And like I will take you to like the GitHub and what you need to check, contribute, and also based on my experience, what I think you should do to be able to contribute. Okay, we have a chat, the link. Okay, I'll share that quickly. Yeah, so all what you need to do is to go to this website, you register. So I'm already registered, but if you have not registered, you just register. You can register with GitHub, or I think you can register with GitHub or Google. Then you come here. Like I said, all these projects are projects from different ecosystems. You see, this is RET, which is like the Rust Ethereum implementation by Paradigm. So this from Zama Labs, a different ecosystem and all. But then today we're just going to focus on Starknet. So the first project we are going to check out is BROS, because I've contributed to BROS, and I'll just show you how you can move from just seeing BROS on this platform to contributing to it. Like I said, this is just OnlyDust is a bridge, right? It doesn't take away the open source part of things. You just register and go and do the open source work. But now the assurance you have is that this platform is rated on OnlyDust, and your contribution will reflect on OnlyDust, and the people in charge of the project will just allocate funds to you, and then OnlyDust will process your payments to you, right? So let's just check BROS. BROS is a Starknet Lite client. So basically, it's a live client on Starknet, right? Let's do a very quick, what is a live client? A live client is basically a client that is supposed to do less work compared to what a full node or a full client would normally do, right? So that's just like a summary of what a live client is, and that's exactly what this is, with its own peculiarities as something running in the Starknet ecosystem. So for you to contribute to this, you need to know Rust, but then you just need to, what our advice is, just check out Rosling's. If you're able to finish Rosling's, okay, Rosling is a lot, let's just say, but if you're able to do like, let's say, I think there are about 90 something exercises, but if you're able to do like, let's say the first 30, and then the way I advise you do it is you read, you do Rosling's and you read you read the Ross book, which is like a perfect, if there was something like a perfect documentation, that would be that book, right? The Ross book, right? So you do Rosling's and you do, and you refer to the book from time to time, right? It's very, 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 very helpful. So I would advise you do that. So basically, this is the project. You can see the contributors, the people that are currently contributing to it. There are many people, see they have earned, like based on how much they have earned from it. And then these are like the project leads and all. So there's a place where you can request, you can tell them that you want to, let me search it again. Now you see this thing here, they say looking for contributors, right? If you click on it, there's a place where you can ask for an intro. Where's this? I can't find this now. Okay, maybe I've removed this, I don't know. But then basically, now this is the project, right? And then once you just contribute, even if you were not even registered on this platform, right? Once you contribute, your name will show as part of the contributors on this place, right? So some of these guys, I don't know, I'm not sure all of them are on OnlyDust, right? But their name just shows up here because they have contributions, right? And once your name shows up here, the people in charge know that, okay, you're supposed to get paid and you're supposed to get allocated some funds when you get allocated. So enough about the platform. Okay, does anyone have any question before we move into the repo? Okay, I guess we're all good.
Sorry, can I know?
Okay, go
I
ahead.
wanted to ask a question, like, so is it like, on visiting the platform, we get to see, uh, what language is required of us before we contribute to a project? Is it always the case where we need to be familiar with Rust, familiar with Cairo, familiar with Solidity, or is it a case where it's always Cairo all the time?
So like
Before
I
we can
said,
contribute.
there are different ecosystems that have projects on here, right? But then if you want to contribute to projects in the Starknet ecosystem, you might either need to know Rust, or in fact, you might either need to know Cairo, Rust, or okay, let's look for a project that is not, that's in the Starknet ecosystem, but it's not written in Rust or Cairo, because you would actually see, okay, Starknet.js, right? This is a JavaScript library. I don't know if, okay, they actually have a lot of contributors, right? So this is one of them. This is the Starknet library, and it's written in JavaScript. So you don't necessarily have to know Rust. You just have to look for projects. And if you have the skill set, you would either go and learn it, or you just, if you already have it, you just contribute, right? So to answer your question, you don't necessarily need to know Rust. For this example I'm giving, this B-Rust, because I've used it and I've contributed, I want to use it as an example, but you can do it for other projects here, right? So yeah, but learning Rust is cool though. So yeah, you could actually try learning it. So it's nice. So let's go straight to the repo. So this is the B-Rust repository, and the first thing you need to do when you come here is to check out the assuming that you're coming here for the first time. So you just come here, you see these parts where they say contributing, you just check out the contribution guidelines, and then read this. This is not, it's not cumbersome. It's something you can just skim through quickly. So basically what you need to do is you come here, there are like issues, right? There's a couple of issues here. You could just say, okay, you click on this issue, you say that if you think you can work on it, or if it's a good first issue, you know that you have like the grace of like once you say a good first issue, most times you're given the grace of the fact that they believe you're still learning. So you don't have like a strict time constraint. You just say you want to work on it, and the project people, the maintainers assign you this project, right? So you can just come here, comment, can I work on this? Okay, see the person just said, can I take this, right? And it was assigned to this person, right? So it's just how it works, right? You just say you want to work on it, and you're assigned that issue, and you just start working on it, right? So so the way it works on Bureaus is you fork the repo. Like after you're assigned, you fork the repo, and you make your changes, and you make a pull request, right? Once you make a pull request is merged, automatically you show up on OnlyDust as a contributor, right? And now, depending on the maintainer, at the end of the month or at any point in time where they decide to do it, but then I think most times at the end of the month, they allocate everybody based on their contribution, allocate everybody funds based on their contribution. And once you're allocated, I think it takes like, I think the first time I was allocated, it took like about 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. But the second time it was very quick, like in 3 days, OnlyDust like sent the money, right? So it depends, right? But the thing is, you can actually contribute and be assured that you would get paid, right? And also, you can also, let's go back to OnlyDust. This is, give me a sec. Oh, I'm trying to remove. Okay, so you can actually check out so I'm trying to remove this thing. Don't worry. Okay, so let's go back to OnlyDust, and then you can see. Okay, this is not the repo. Okay, this is someone's accounts, but most times you'll be able to see the Telegram group, the Telegram channel from the GitHub page, right? Sorry, from the OnlyDust page. But here it's not there. So these are like the people in charge. So Abel, Ben, and some other people. So since it's not here, let me actually look for the because I'm in the group. Let me get the group link and send and share. Since it's not here, give me a sec. Okay. Okay. This is the Telegram group for Bureaus. So the way you should go is when you check it out, you first join the channel because you want to be in the community where everything is happening and where you can ask questions and all. Then you comment on issues you want to work on. Then you go ahead and contribute, right? So I don't know if you must have noticed, but then you would notice that it doesn't really remove what open source is, right? It just helps you make it better, right? So you still have to go through the normal process of making a pull request, contributing, and all, right? But then it makes it way, way better because now you can be assured that you're not just contributing. It's a good thing to contribute to project for free, don't get me wrong, but then you can be assured that this project you're contributing to, you get paid, right? And based on my experience, it is really is an amazing product, right? So it makes everything better. So I think I'll take questions and yeah. Okay, does anybody have any question? Okay, someone sent a message. What is the pay like? All right. So it depends. It depends on what So take for instance, if you make a PRO for a very big feature, you definitely get paid more than if you make a PRO or you make a change for something that's less of a big feature, right? So it just depends on priority and like what the project really needs at that particular point in time, right? So it varies. It just depends on how much they have and how much they have and how much they are willing to allocate to what you did. So how long does it take for verification for your contract? So the way it works is once you just make a pull request and it is merged to the main branch, it just shows up on OnlyDust immediately. It's not like it just shows up immediately on OnlyDust, right? OnlyDust, I think it fetches this data in real time, like something like that. It like gets the data in real time or something. So or maybe a webhook, I don't know, but yeah, it shows up immediately, and there's no verification process. Like once you just register with your GitHub account, you automatically have an account with OnlyDust, and then on the other end, when you register, when your PR is being merged, it just shows up immediately. So I don't think there's any time frame where you have to wait for anything apart from when you are making the doing the changes. Okay, does anyone have any other question? You're welcome. Does anyone have any question? Please go ahead and ask. Yeah, so there are actually interesting projects here that you can actually, so let's say you have like a background in JavaScript, right? Let's just search by JavaScript. Okay, Madara shows up, like all this project shows up here. Let's search again for TypeScript on JavaScript, right? So they actually order, like take for instance, there's the Cairo book. The Cairo book, you just have to like make updates to the document, to the book itself, and not necessarily write code, right? So for you to be a contributor, you just need to understand Cairo to a good extent, or to an extent, let me not say to an extent, basically. And you're able to make your contributions and you get rewarded from it, right? So it doesn't have to be Rust. If you don't know Rust, you can still like come here and search based on what you know, and you still be able to. So you see here, Rust, Cairo, JavaScript, Python. So they haven't, like Python is here, Solidity, Cairo, TypeScript, JavaScript, like not necessarily just Rust. So does anyone have any question? Paul, I guess
Yeah.
if no one has any question, I'll say that's a wrap on my end.
Okay, I think I have let's say I'm working on a project. How do I get to add it to OnlyDust?
Okay, so yeah, that's actually a good question. So let's go back to Biros. Let me check. Let me show you guys something. Now you see this part where you say sponsor, right? So these are the guys sponsoring this project, right? So basically, if you are a founder or you're just working on something and you have some funds, I need help, and you feel like you need people to do it in an open source way, but at the same time, you need people to be incentivized, just come here. And I've not added a project to Biros before. Sorry, I've not added a project to OnlyDust, but I know that you can just meet the team and they'll be able to add your project to OnlyDust. So I don't know the process, but then you just have to be able to fund it. So depending on where you're getting your fund, depends, maybe you get a grant or something, but then once you're able to sponsor it, you have funds, then you can meet the team and they can add your project and people just come and see it and you're able to contribute. So yeah, I think that's how it works. Well, yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Okay.
Let's stop sharing. Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is it though for today. So if anyone has a question, you could just go on and ask if there's more questions. But apart from that, we'll also be presenting this at the conference next week. If you'll be there as well, if you're in Nigeria, Lagos, and we'll be at the conference, pre-level conference, and we hope to see you all that in Nigeria or Lagos there, as we'll be doing a few workshops on Cairo and Starknet. So yeah, this is the first community call, and we'll have more of this. We'll have community calls once a month. So and we hope to see you all in the next community call as well. So Godspower, is there anything you want to add?
Nothing on my end. Okay. I just want to say something. So apart from I know this call is about contributing to through OnlyDust, right? But then I want to take the next like maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes to talk about how important it is to do open source, right? So, you know, maybe if you're active on Twitter, right, you'd probably hear people say that open source is good and open source is good and all, but actually it's actually very good for your career. So if you're an engineer trying to maybe get a job, trying to get a job in the space or trying to get the attention of a particular company, or you're trying to get a particular skill. Let's say you want to learn, you're learning Rust. Contributing to open source is one of the best ways to actually get better at it, right? Because you can you can join a project and start with something like increasing their test coverage, writing tests, and before you know it, you start adding like core features that actually making changes. Before you know it, you're actually a contributor, that like a main contributor, right? So the point is open source is very good, and I advise people to do it because it's actually very good. Yeah, so in case you're looking for motivation on why you should do this, right? Apart from the fact that you're going to get rewarded, it's actually very good for your career generally as an engineer. So by all means, do open source.
Okay, sorry, I want to ask very quickly on how is the correctional method like? Say, for instance, especially when you've taken an issue to contribute to, and yeah, of course, as newbies, we'll be pushing some kind of codes that will not abide by what they want. So how do they revisit your code, tell you, oh, you need to make amend here, and okay, at this point you need to, oh, you have an issue here. Can you? So how often? Because I know these people have communities, and how is it like from the community side of it? Yeah.
Okay, so I can tell you that the community is welcoming to beginners, right? That's why they have some issues called good first issues, because they want beginners to take up those issues, and that's the way to bring in more contributors, right? So if you have any question, you can ask it on the group, right? Or then if you know any of the people working on it, like working on that project, if you feel like you don't want to ask in the group, it's good to ask in the group so other people can learn from it. But then if you don't want to ask in the group, you can ask people in their DM and like for them to help you. But at the same time, it's advisable to ask it on the group because someone can just help you, right? Or maybe if you send it to their DM, they might be busy and all. But then the point is, if you have issues, there are a lot of people to help you. And when you make PROs, they would tell you to make changes if it doesn't fit what they want. But then it's in a way that will help you learn, right? It's not like somebody just tell you that your code is this, your code is that, but then in a way that would help you grow. At the same time, you know that you are not, maybe you're not being disrespected, right? So basically, it is like, it's a community that I want everybody to grow, right? So basically, when you make your changes, if there's anything to correct, they correct it. It's a normal thing, right? If there's anything to correct it. If you don't have any corrections on your first try, good for you, amazing. But at the same time, most times when you make changes, they tell you this, and this. You go back, you make the changes, and it is merged. You understand? So I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okuli, Evan, I see you're just joining. Do you have a specific question you want to ask?
No, not really. Good evening.
Yeah, are you familiar with OnlyDust?
No, I just want to like listen along and try to get what is being said.
Yeah, no worries. Well, the recording of this call will be like available a few hours from now. So yeah.
Okay.
But if you have any specific question, you could just ask.
Okay. Maybe along the way.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you, Godspower, for leading this call. And yeah, we'll have more of this subsequently. Last week of every month, right? The reason why we did it this week is because we are going for the conference in Lagos next week, right? So I'm looking forward to have you all in the call. That's next month, right? And yeah, good night, everyone, and do have a lovely night. Thank you for joining the call. Yeah, bye.